There we go. Howdy. There you go. Just doing it'll be about midnight in your time. Probably. It's not that late for me, but if you're up late and just feel like chatting for a bit, thought I'd do a walk while I've still got some battery power. I don't know. I just felt like chatting with everyone tonight, whoever's on. I mean, if you're on, it's a crazy hour. So if you are, how you doing? Here we got someone here from. It's Time Lord Gina. Good evening, Time Lord Gina. Up late, I see. From someone from Valerie, Hyper, Robert, and our animations. Howdy, guys. How you doing? Yeah, just on for an evening walk, and a howdy from Phoenix. And it's Fanta, and that's Medicine. Lolly, how you doing, Medicine? And it is Thomas Jefferson and Geek Tunes. Hey, Geek Tunes. And it's Hanna-Barbera and Odd Eyes with an AMV maker. Yeah, it's good to see everyone. You're all on rather late. Whether you're having sleeping problems or just feel like chatting or just couldn't sleep tonight, feel free to say hi. Yeah, so we got any questions? Yep, it certainly is Chermside Valerie, so you're spot on. Yeah, I like just doing my evening mall walk and thought I'd drop in and say hi. Salutations to you too, Chris. It's only 9 o'clock in England. Okay, that's not too bad. It's probably like 4 a.m. in America though. I haven't heard of Bless the Hearts, sorry, Robert. What's that? It's 11:15 in Sweden. That's not too bad. Yeah, 11:15 a.m. or p.m. That's not too bad. 9 a.m. Not too bad, Hyper. I do remember you, Asher. I believe we've spoken on live stream before. Hello, Remix. Yes, it's 4:16 in Florida. You're doing well, Thomas. I'd probably have conked out by now. I don't know. I'm a night bird as well. I know I talk about this a lot, but genetically, you're generally either night bird or not. And my schedule, I used to do night shifts and stuff. I would base it around the fact that I am a night bird. So I do definitely get it. You can try to get into, and you can do it. You can get to bed earlier, but you tend to lapse into that habit very easily of like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So I'm typically at the moment 3 a.m., though I'm trying to get back to 2 or 1 a.m. because it's a little bit more reasonable. My sister Angie says, hey. Howdy, Angie. How you doing? How are you two doing with your projects and your video projects at the moment? I certainly am in Australia. That Tails chick. Hey, have you seen the intro for Steven Universe Future? I haven't. If you've got any info on Steven Universe Future, I'd love to hear about it. But interestingly, I was right. Everyone pointed out when I put out Darkest Cartoon Network that it wasn't the last season, but yeah, it's the last season of Steven Universe. So I guess some of us were right about that, even though it wasn't indicated at the time. I guess I just guessed right. Yes, I have Tails Chick. I played the first Life is Strange episode. Yeah, because they came out in episodes, and I was really impressed. What I liked about it was very immersive. I really got into the feel of that young lady's life, and it didn't feel too pandering either, and that was the nice thing. Sorry, my arm got sore. So I quite like Life is Strange. 518 and PH. That's not too bad. Wait, yeah, that is kind of bad. Unless you got up early. Well, it's not bad or good. You get to bed at whatever hour you want. Did you hear Ash Ketchum won the Pokemon League? Yes, Robert. This was a big thing. I remember, I think Robin mentioned her point on it as well, but it's such a funny thing, but I do kind of care even after all this time, and it's just he's had some really bad losses in the tournaments, particularly I think the first one he had a bad loss as well, and one time one guy just pulled out a legendary, and he's had some real cheap losses in it, so it's good to see him just win one. Some people speculated they might be finishing Pokemon, and they're not going to finish Pokemon. That's crazy. It's the most powerful video game franchise in the world, and the anime is basically meant to help people sort of be introduced to the game series, because the game series is so powerful, from my understanding anyway. Let's see. Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. I don't play Roblox as much as I used to. I love Roblox though. I like the concept of it, and I often get hit by a lot of ads though when I go into it. It's good to see people definitely making a living off it though. Very young people, which is really cool. Well, you played Jackbox again for a stream. I'm surprised you remember that, Fancy. You know, I was just thinking about that last night. I did really enjoy playing Jackbox. It ruined it a little bit that a few people kind of made it unpleasant for everyone else, but there's a couple of other Jackboxes I would like to try, like the drawing one that Robin did, because I like the idea of that, everyone sort of submitting a drawing and that sort of thing, and having interpretations. Anyone will play some Cluedo? Ah, yeah. I was in the board game store the other day, and I was just like, you know, this board game thing, it would be so much more fun to look at these if I actually had a lot of local friends to play it with. If you can actually get 4 or 5 people around a board set. You know, that's often the problem in Dungeons and Dragons, is there's so many games will start and have so much setting up, but you know, then your friend will get married or something and more responsibilities will come up and suddenly you can't get everyone together and they just disappear. Do you have any plans for making a Best Worst Bob's Burgers episodes list? That's from Robert. I'm sorry, I am trying to not favor anyone, but I keep getting Robert's questions. They just stand out to me. Yeah, I think I mentioned this before in a couple of streams, but I'm a big Bob's Burgers fan, and I'll probably do one with Movie Bob if he's interested. I haven't contacted him, but I'm a big fan, and I'll be doing Worse Than Best Simpsons episode with the real James. He's a great guy. James is a real expert on The Simpsons. He actually started in the No Homers Club, which was an old forum years ago. He really knows his stuff, so yeah, I love his work too. It's very, very much my style of what I look for on YouTube. But anyway, enough fanboying out over the real James. He's an awesome guy, and it would be awesome to have him on the channel. And he's interested too, which is just awesome. Let's see, I'm skipping so many questions. What's your thoughts on the Teen Titans to the Go movies from Arik the Best? I watched the first 10-20 minutes on Netflix, and then I sort of just tuned out because I was just like, yeah, it's just not my thing. I feel like I think there's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like the 2 generation gaps. There's shows and cartoons I watch where I feel 1 generation gap and I can tolerate it. I feel like 3 with Teen Titans Go. It's just like, it's too colourful and out there, and look, we got to get your attention, blah blah blah, aren't we funny? So yeah, and nothing wrong with that if you enjoy it, and I hear it is really clever and self-referential, but I'm obviously not the demographic for it. There's very little I can get to translate that to an 18-24 audience as well that they might enjoy. That I think, anyway. Some might. Yeah, good for you if you can. Just scream really loud. Well, as you can hear from upstairs, Rickety, there's a lot of people screaming already. Ree! Lily Sunshine says hi. Howdy. How you doing? Say hi to people in live stream. There you go. There you got your Ree. Yeah, TJ, I do, but I very rarely go on there, so it's barely worth even worrying about. Someone was offering to set one up a while ago, but it kind of fell through. But, you know, there's Facebook and Twitter. If you ever need to contact me, just feel free to just tag me on Twitter, and that's where I receive the quickest. Robert, damn it, I keep seeing Robert's questions. Did you hear Robert? I'm sorry, I like your questions, Robert. I'm just trying not to favor you. Did you see South Park banned in the China and made 300 episodes? Yeah, well, I certainly heard about the controversy. I haven't been tuning into as much South Park lately, which is a shame, I know. But yeah, I think it was really good points, and you know, I get it. I get why I expected the Chinese government to have issues with Xiaoping. I was just talking to Ming about this the other day. My best friend's Chinese, and yeah, if Disney wants to get in there, and if Randy in this case wants to get in there, they have to cater a bit, and I don't like it either. And I like that in this case Trey and Matt didn't compromise, even though they got banned for it, and they never do, and I respect that. Best and worst Disney live-action remakes. Ask Remix Phoenix. Oh, that's. I've considered making a movie on that one because it is. I mean, I don't see them anymore, and that's the problem. Is that like if I tuned into more, it'd be different. But I looked at. I was originally going to see Lion King, but I was just like, no, I'd rather just watch the original. And like, pretty much after the Beauty and the Beast, I just didn't tune into them. And I don't know if people would like me to do the live-action remakes and rank them, I will. But I mean, people like them obviously because they keep making them. But you know, not my cup of tea certainly. Okay, so what else we got? So China is horrible, and it's well known for censorship. China isn't horrible. The people of China are beautiful. Some, like my best friend is Chinese. They're absolutely beautiful people in China. The government is not so, like, I'm not going to say it's horrible. They've done good technological improvements, but I do not like their form of government. It's not, it doesn't encourage freedom and civil liberty. So yes, I would agree that that government style is horrible. Are you going to have another crossover with Doug? I'm sorry, Tan. Part of me really would like to, and maybe I'll go back on it, but I wanted to do a yearly, maybe 6 monthly thing, particularly after Creepiest, but then all that controversy came through, and I don't know, because it was very difficult. I looked over the case, and I was like, it's a lack of doing something when serious things are involved, and what I will say is I've done a lot of thinking on it, because both those crossovers are really important to me. I grew up with them, so it's not been an easy decision. Anyway, I'm not going to obsess over that anymore. Kathleen Campbell says, howdy. Oh, howdy, Kathleen. Good to see you. Lily. What's that? Oh, sorry. What's your opinion on Bob's Burgers Season 10? Oh, damn it, I got Robert's question again. I think I've got up to Season 9 so far, and I've watched each one religiously, pretty much from Season 2 onwards. But I haven't seen 10 yet. No spoilers, but I will take a look tonight to see if it's on any of the streaming services, because I'd love to see it. Do you play Smash Brothers? Asked Thomas Jefferson. I haven't much lately, but my favorite characters are Wario, and everyone loves Link. I like Link and doing swordplay. Whereas I used to do swordplay sort of between Marth and Link, pretty much since Melee. Unlike some people, I've had probably 15 years to play, 14 years to play Smash Brothers. Oh no, longer than that. 21 years to play Smash Brothers. I've been playing it since it first came out 21 years ago. Or was it 22? Long time. Longer than some of you have been alive. So I've had a kind of my dosage of Smash Brothers in that time. Who do you support? Oh, nope. Certainly not the current one. I'm an Obama fan, I will say that. Opinion on Spinal. I don't want to ask Valerie. I don't want to ruin anyone's thunder, but I want a villain. I want from Steven Universe what the writers of My Little Pony could actually do, which is an unredeemable creep person or human being, or an unredeemable person, in that there are people like that out there, and something about the fact that everyone in the genocidal Steven Universe Diamond Crew was redeemable, just over like a sister quarrel. Something about that really rubs me the wrong way, and it's part of why I drifted away from Steven Universe, and part of why a couple of my friends did as well. And some people, so much good comes from it though, and it's inspired me so much in earlier seasons, but probably about mid-season 5, after my favorite episode, where the courtroom of Hell is in Lars's head, I started to drift away. Particularly after they didn't readdress like things like resurrection stuff. Something just changed. Bismuth was arguably another point, so I'm sorry I got lost in talking about that. Are you excited about Steven Universe's future? I'll probably cover Steven Universe again, Owen, but in some ways, worse than best Steven Universe episodes with Leah, someone who's far more knowledgeable and has a far better opinion on Steven Universe than me. I put a good 3 months into that project, I'm going to say. I mean, I was considering it for 6 months, and in some ways I was closing the book on Steven Universe, giving my thoughts, and number one is sort of a big collection of my thoughts on where it went and my problems with it, very compressed. And having Leah there, it was a big job, that one, and I don't want to prattle on about that. I loved doing it, but I originally got Jem involved with that. He originally wrote the script, and I then went through and rewrote it, changed it, and then I got Leah involved in her notes and her choices, and then rewrote those into the script and incorporated. It was probably the biggest project I've ever done. Because I love Steven Universe, and for so many years it's been so close to my heart, I really wanted to do it justice. But for now, I've closed the book on it because there are people who appreciate it more than me and get so much more out of it than me. And I don't feel I can do it justice anymore. Do you know the game Terraria? Asked Ghost Pepper Games. I haven't played Terraria in years, but that's... Even back in my day, that one's been around. It's basically like a 2D Minecraft with a lot more complexity of weapons and items and stuff, so I did enjoy that one. Sonic movie redesign, Leak Opinion asks Fanta. Oh, hey Fanta, I'll finally get to answer one of your questions. The redesign was fine. If you're talking about the one that happened about a month ago, 2 months ago, I think we were all hoping for it, certainly, but it was funny because in the Twitters you could see people were actually posting redesigns that they did themselves with Photoshop and considerably less money. I'm probably going to be trolled by these people if I don't speed up. Anyway, have you seen Kath and Kim? I know the one you're talking about. Isn't that one of the Nick sitcoms, Kathleen? I can't quite remember. SSJ Goku says, hey, there's a way to meet you in person. Well, if you like these people, then yes, there is. You can run up behind me. Fanta asks, honestly, you'll probably find me wandering around Chermside most nights if you're in Brisbane, Australia. So if you ever do want to meet me there, feel free to do so. There we go. What's your thoughts on Thomas the Tank Engine? Asks the one and only Luck. I think it's fine. I love it. Looking back on it when I'm 30 was interesting because there's a renewed appreciation for it in different ways, and I think that's part of the beauty of English animation, is that they put, as I've said many times, they put so much critique. I actually took that video down because I took down worst English cartoons the other day, because even though I do talk about my love of British animation, I thought it was so badly researched, and I've been hit so many times for not doing my research on Tugs. Probably not that many times in the grand scheme of things, but it's the one I get hit for so many times. Whenever people are doing like the hater videos, it'll surprisingly often be my thoughts on Tugs and the fact that I didn't research it, and I only watched one episode, and I was just trying to find one to put on the list at the time because there aren't that many bad English animations. So eventually, you'll find worst South Park and worst English cartoons I took down because I took back things I said on there and things that are like, oh, that's affected people badly, it's not worth saying. But keep on. Anyway, Kath and Kim is an Australian sitcom from the ABC 2002. Oh, okay. 2002. Yeah, I guess I was out of the age of sitcoms back then for Australia. I wasn't watching public broadcasting as much then. I was watching Handmade May anime. I was watching Neon Genesis Evangelion. I was just getting into my anime phase. What's your favorite Futurama character? Asked TJ Gamer. Probably, I'm going to say Farnsworth. Good old Farnsworth. He's just the best old character in the world. What's your favorite song from the Steven Universe movie? Asked Robert. Damn it, I got a Robert question again. But it was a good question. The introduction song, actually, I thought that one was really good. It actually made me shed a tear. Well, kind of shed a tear, get watery-eyed, because I was just like, it hits all the original nostalgia and all the beats of what you want to hear. Really good way to finish the series. And what's your biggest regret? That's a tough one, isn't it? But it draws the eye, doesn't it, AARP? Probably, I do really regret, I really regret how awkward I was in some of my live Strider videos on this channel from like worst and best cartoons. I think it was an important growing time, and I appreciate that a lot of people tolerated just how awkward I was. God, what was I doing with my hands back then? And that was only 3 years ago, so it's always good to see we're growing as people, Well, in my case, I'm growing a lot. Maybe I need to grow more. What's your... Oh, I missed one from Lapis Lazuli. What's your go-to order at KFC and Macca's? Good question, Phoenix. I normally get a Diet Pepsi. There's a lot of crap about... if you look at the actual randomized control trials and studies about phenylalanine and aspartame and artificial sweeteners, it's total bull. People say it's terrible, but if you actually look at the proper scientific studies, we can barely get any problems if we feed people animals 80 colas a day for 5 years. It's really ridiculous. So if you enjoy Diet Cola, have Diet Cola. That's my bit on it. But yeah, and I occasionally get a chips. Honestly, I normally order a salad at Salsas or something. Just over here, actually, this is where I order my salad. I normally get like a veggie salad, and then, I'm not vegetarian or anything like that. I normally have chicken stir fry, but just for lunch I normally have just a vegetable dish. But occasionally I'll have chips or something like that, and I just had an ice cream, so I treat myself a lot. Yeah, I'll go home a bit later, ask Lily Sunshine. Yeah, I think I'll go home in a bit, so I might visit my old man first. Would you do a top Time Lord Gina? Oh, I've got one of your questions, Time Lord. Good. Would you do a top worst and best superhero cartoons in Marvel and DC? Well, my worst and best Marvel cinematic movies, people enjoyed it, but I don't feel like it reached my core audience very much, so I thought, maybe superhero stuff isn't really my forte. What's your favorite Adventure Time song? Asked Hanna-Barbera. Oh, that's a tough one. I probably have one, but it just doesn't come to me right now. Sorry, Hanna-Barbera. Do you like My Hero Academia? I hear so many good things about it, but I haven't actually watched much of it myself. Howdy to you too, Cameron B. Do you like Pokemon? Asks Tanner Ultimate. Well, worst and best Pokemon movies. I talk about Pokemon a bit with Robin. Yeah, I do. I grew up with Pokemon probably started when I was about 8, 9? I don't know, you guys will probably calculate that better than I can. But Raz and I started on probably the blue and red version like 20 years ago. Ooh, I'm just running out of battery soon. I'll just do a bit longer. But yeah, I do enjoy Pokemon. You're looking forward to... Oh, it's going too fast. How did you overcome awkwardness? Pure exposure, AARP. Walk around like you're doing here. Be out daily. It's purely exposure. Just do the best you can to get out there. It's scary. Doing interactions, failing. I've done lots of failed interviews. As long as you get out there, it doesn't matter if you succeed or fail. Just do it. And over time, over years, you will find the awkwardness, even if it's there, you don't care. It matters less and less to you each time, whether you succeed or fail. So just get yourself out there, and I promise you, it will make a difference. Absolutely promise you. I'm sorry, I got really passionate there. Do you like Ice Age? Honestly, Owen, I never watched much of it. I think I watched one for worst and best animated sequels, but not much of it. T-Gamer, can you do a video ranking all the Road 2 episodes from Family Guy? Asked T-Gamer. Oh, I miss Road 2 episodes. That was like my favorite part of Family Guy, the Stewie and Brian team-up, so I would enjoy that. I don't know, that's not a bad idea, actually. That would be fun, doing a ranking. Like, I'm thinking of changing my style soon to doing something like worst to best modern Sony animated movies and covering a different subject for those. So, I'm thinking of doing something like that in the future. Oh, damn, I missed her. Let us be hilarious, says Medicine Monday. Knock, knock. Who's there? Do you like Riverdale? Yeah, honestly, Misty vibes. I don't actually watch Riverdale itself, but I do actually read Archie comics at night. It's one of those weird cool down things I do. I need something that's not political related, not not heavy, and I just need some light reading at night, so I'll read Archie comics. I just found some new ones the other day because it's so hard to find Archie comics in Australia. I got a whole bunch in Canada and just been reading them since then. I found some recently, so yay for me. I found Archie comics. I am. Open up. Good on you, Madison. Are you good at music? I'm not. TJ, I am absolutely hopeless at music. My friend Ming can play the cello and the violin. I can play Song of Joy on guitar from when I was 9, and that took me a year, and I can't play anything else. I can juggle, but I definitely cannot play an instrument. The Yakuza game series asks Wojciech Wozniak. Yes, I believe it was made by Yu Suzuki. I might be wrong on that. I'm probably dead wrong on that, but I'm a big fan of the Shenmue series, and not so much as I used to be. It's got a crowdfunding project. It doesn't look that interesting to me. But I grew up on that series, loved it, and apparently Yakuza is sort of like a spiritual successor to that. So, I keep seeing it in Steam and saying I should find time to play that. I'm going for a bit of Final Fantasy X Remastered at the moment, just for funsies in my spare time. Quite enjoying that. Queen or David Bowie? I'm sorry, Time Lord Gina, I've forgotten who they are. Can you please hit the wall? What's the whoa? Whoa! Do you like Zelda? I keep getting TJ's questions. I'm trying to balance it out. I like your questions, TJ, but I'm trying to balance it. I got Breath of the Wild as well. Probably one of the ones I preferred, actually, because it was very free roaming. Reminded me of Oblivion a bit. No, that's fine, TJ. You asked all the questions you want. Sorry, I didn't mean to say don't talk. I frustrated myself because I'm trying to balance it out. Oh, Yakuza is like Shenmue, says Wojciech. Really recommend it. I'll give it a look soon. Thank you for that. I'm running out of batteries. I'm probably going to go off battery power soon. Look, before I run out of batteries, I better finish up. Thanks so much, guys. This was a lot of fun. I'll hopefully do another of these soon, and I'm going to do a mail soon as well. I've got a bunch of mail that I haven't answered, and I'm going to do that. So it was a pleasure, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I can remember what the back was.